Hello, Heidi.
Hi.
Hello, friends. Welcome to our podcast, the Whole Life Project podcast. We're grateful that you stopped by to listen or to watch, depending on how you take your podcast. I am, as always, Luke Ankeny, and I'm here with Heidi Ankeny and Harper the dog. And we are excited for our topic tonight. Heidi is really excited because our topic tonight, health and wellness, and we're talking about sleep. And Heidi is really excited about tonight's topic because she is super tired, and what she really wants to do is just demonstrate sleep.
I think you said that last week about how tired I was. So now everybody's going to be like, why are you tired all the time?
Why are you tired? Let's explain.
I have too many things on my plate all at once. They're all good things.
One of our sons is starting work at 6 a.m. So you're getting up at 5-ish to make sure he gets his breakfast and his lunch and is out the door.
Yeah. Because I would feel horrible if he had to get up at 4:15 or 4:30 to make a breakfast.
Even though one of our other sons pointed out that when he started working at
4:30
or 5 in the morning, you did not get up to help him.
It's because the youngest is always the favorite in every family, right?
Yes, that's true.
I don't think it's not always true.
That's true.
That's not true in our family.
I'm sure
5 o'clock is not that bad. But then I stay up late for that boy,
the other one
to come home late.
Doesn't get home until 8:30 after he works 10 hours.
Dinner, and he does
hanging out with him a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah.
And then my days have just been packed.
Yeah, and you have a lot going on.
Packed full of different things.
Sure. And the other thing we have going on, we kind of alluded to this last week, is that we're in the process of moving. We have to be out of our house in T-minus 28 days now, I think.
Yikes.
And we are actually I want to talk about this. We bought a travel trailer. It's 30 feet long. It has a room in the front, a room in the back. There'll be 3 of us, the 2, Heidi and I, and our oldest son, Samuel. And then in the middle, there's a slide out, and it has the, dining, kitchen, living / bathroom, everything kind of right there. But as we've been sharing this with people, we've been a bit surprised by everyone's response.
Yeah.
We thought, I don't know what I thought they'd say. I was kind of hesitant to tell people. Not like I was embarrassed.
No, but like people would think, why are you doing that?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Or that seems really irresponsible or something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what I expected, but the last 2 people we've told, they've said, wow. One of them used the word freeing. That sounds freeing.
Yeah.
And the other one said, man, that sounds nice.
And these are like very busy family men, like their work.
Like they have a lot going on, and they don't have a lot of stuff. They're pretty simple people, but for us, it's been nice. I think we've been the last 2 Saturdays, we cleaned out our storage unit. We're going to do that again this weekend. We are going to take some time off on the 4th. And then the following Saturday, we'll have a yard sale.
It's just purging.
But I've been selling stuff like crazy on Marketplace. Have someone coming over tonight to buy something else. And it's stuff that we use, but we're not going to have space for it. We don't really want to store it because we want to get a different version later. And yeah.
Our youngest is taking some of the furniture for his new apartment in college.
That's another trip between now and when we have to move out. A trip to Missoula real quick.
Yeah.
But, and we're, I kind of freaked out the first couple of days, but I'm pretty good with it. I mean, I still don't know. We don't know a lot beyond what's going to happen at the end of the month, but, we'll pack most of our stuff into a storage unit and take what we can fit into our trailer. And keep a little bit at my mom's, and then, a week later, you and I are going on our cruise, and then we'll come back and figure things out. Yeah. So, but we're talking about sleep today, and you're always getting on me about how I need to sleep more and develop better sleep habits.
Yeah.
And before I get into what I want to say, why is sleep so important to our health? Just
There's a
basic.
lot of answers
Well, I know,
for
but
that.
just simple. You can talk for a while, but just a simple why is health so important to our health? Sleep.
Sleep.
See, it happens when I'm sleep deprived.
Yeah, because it affects your cognitive ability.
Yes, it
And you
does.
can't think clearly, find it hard to find the words, you can't remember things, you can't stay focused. Like it really impacts your brain function. While you're sleeping, your body is repairing and restoring and detoxifying.
And
And
that's
so,
something I think a lot of people may not know about how
yeah, maybe
an
not.
important part of sleep is because it is like your body's doing work during
Right.
that time.
Yeah. And very important work. And so if you don't give it the sleep that it needs, then it can hinder a lot of processes in the body.
Tell me about what I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Our
That's okay. Circadian.
circadian rhythm.
Yep.
That's something that gets reset when we sleep, correct?
Well, your
Or no?
circadian rhythm is like your sleep wake cycle.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't really know.
having a good sleep routine, like when you have kids and everybody talks about having a good bedtime routine for your kids.
Which we did.
Yeah, it sets them up for winding down and your body and your brain's knowing that it's bedtime. But our body is designed by God to line up with the sun and the moon, the day and the night. And if we go against that, which we do so much now by staying up well past dark with all the lights on in the house and the blue lights from our screens, and that confuses our body and throws off that sleep wake cycle or the circadian rhythm, then that causes problems.
So here's my thought that back in the day, and I don't know when the day is that I'm referring to, but back in the day,
Kind of like when people say, they say,
they say
who's
back in the
they?
day, I'm thinking like before the Industrial Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
that most people were, uh, I can't remember the exact word I'm looking for, but agricultural based.
Right.
And not all, but a lot. And there was a rhythm to life that there wasn't a lot of distractions, like you mentioned, screens, those types of things. But there was a rhythm to life that caused, you might get done with a hard day work, eat dinner, sit down and play the fiddle, like
By the
like
firelight.
Pa Ingalls in
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie, and then go to bed and get 10 hours of sleep
Right.
before you're up and at it the next day.
When the sun comes up.
And maybe in the summer, maybe you don't sleep as long, but in the
Mhm.
winter you sleep more. I don't know. And seemed like there was just this rhythm and balance to life. But then since then, you can work a night shift. You can
Yeah.
work at weird times. I come home and like last night, I watched a movie before I went to bed, or finished a movie with one of my sons before I went to bed. Alarm clock wakes me up, not the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How much of that, like how much damage are we doing to our sleep patterns just by the way we currently
A lot.
live?
A lot. And that's what has to change for people to restore their sleep. You have to be aware of the light that your eyes are getting. So, like sunlight first thing in the morning. And you don't have to go, like, we love to sit outside. You and I will sit outside, and I could sit out there for an hour if I don't have anything going on. You don't have to do that. But if you can get outside and get a couple of minutes of sunlight in your eyes, it triggers hormone responses in your body that help your body know this is daytime. This is when we're awake. This is when we're alert. And there are processes that happen because of that light hitting your eyes and your skin. And then allowing your body to recognize that it's nighttime and it's time to wind down and it's time to shut down so that you can repair and restore by monitoring, you know, not having all the LED lights on in the house. I'm not saying you have to sit around in the dark, but keep things dimmer. Um, Pay attention to screen time. At the very least, stop looking at screens like your phone and TVs and stuff, especially phones are really bad. An hour maybe before you go to bed. That's going to help your body sort of reset that rhythm that you're talking about.
And then,
You're looking at me like this is new information for you. I've said this to you before.
I know you said it to me before, but I forget. You know that. I forget things. And I've had trouble sleeping. And so I'm like, well, if I just stay up a little bit later, then at least I'll get like 6 hours of really good sleep instead of sleeping really good for 4 and then being wide awake and then kind of dozing off again.
Yeah, the timing of it too impacts how well you sleep. Like,
Yeah, the earlier sleep, right, is better.
Going to bed earlier in the evening, you're going to get better and more sleep cycles than if you go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
I'm going to stop for a minute and then we're going to jump into some notes I have, some questions I have.
Commercial break?
We have a commercial break. It's not a commercial break. I just forgot. Last week I forgot to wear a hat.
Oh, yep. Oh, that's a good hat. I didn't even notice you were wearing that.
Yeah, and so I can't remember the name.
Williams Midwest House Movers.
Williams Midwest House Movers. My friends John and Jamie Williams own a house moving business.
Awesome people.
Out of Hastings, Nebraska. But John can fly his plane and bid jobs anywhere in the Midwest, Oklahoma, North Dakota, South Dakota. I don't know how far he goes. And then they drive their trucks there after they bid their jobs. So if you are in the middle of the country, the middle plains, the plain states, and you need a house moved, Williams Midwest,
call John.
House Movers, give John a call and he and his crew will show up and they'll do you right. And if you tell them Luke sent you, you will not get a discount.
Luke might get a high five.
I might get a high five from John. Benefits of good sleep.
Yeah.
I'll read these and then you interject. And
kind of the opposite of the negatives. Go for it.
Yeah, you want me to do the negatives?
Well, we talked about some of that already. We were actually only talking about them.
I always forget that some people consume podcasts by listening and then I do things.
Oh yeah.
Like hand motions,
people didn't know what you did.
Which I realized on Sunday. On Sunday, I went and preached at a church and then I watched the video of me preaching at the church and I did not know I used my hands so much.
Yeah. You're doing it right now.
And I'm doing it right now when I'm talking, which I don't think is a bad thing.
No.
I don't even think about it. Benefits of good sleep, mental and cognitive benefits. You touched on some of these.
Yeah.
Improves memory.
Mm-hmm.
Enhances executive function like decision making, problem solving, and focus, and supports emotional stability. It reduces anxiety and irritability.
Think about how irritable and weepy I get when I'm tired.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. And I love my sleep.
I don't get weepy, but I get irritable.
Yep.
And I think there's a link, not just emotional stability, right? But like mental, like depression, anxiety, things like that possibly can be reduced with better sleep.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree. And we are not claiming that sleep is the only factor that influences anxiety or depression, but it does play a role.
But it can worsen. It can trigger mental health issues. It can be a part of it. So better sleep can help improve those things. Physical health perks. Better sleep can strengthen your heart. True or false?
True.
And why is that? And along with your heart, helps regulate blood sugar and reduces inflammation.
Yeah, I think part of it, I mean, I'm not super smart on this piece of it, like that benefit. But in my mind, it just makes sense because as your body is resting, your heart rate is lower. Your body is repairing while you're asleep. There's a lot of, see, I'm tired right now and I can't think of the word.
I don't know what the word is either. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I'll just skip over it. Yeah, there's a lot of stress on your body and your heart included when you are not getting enough sleep and getting that restorative time.
Yeah.
That's a pretty general answer, really. I mean, anybody could come up with that probably, but that's what I'm going to say.
So my holistic dentist last year, she told me I needed to get better sleep and that I probably had sleep apnea and that I needed to get that checked out. And then my male hormone doctor, the two, what are they called? Appointments that I've had with him. He has asked me about sleep as well. And to that, both of them to that end, look, if you're not getting good sleep, it's just going to affect your overall health.
Right.
And so I haven't done anything about it yet, mainly because our insurance is bad and I don't want to. There's other health things we need to get taken care of before I go and figure out it's probably my wonky nose that I talked about a couple episodes ago, along with some other stuff. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, I have lost about 20 pounds this year, and
That does help.
that has improved my sleep.
Yes.
Okay. So that leads into the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep with helping regulate weight and our metabolism.
Yeah.
Helps balance our hunger hormones, perhaps controlling our appetite, and then supports healthy metabolism and energy levels.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say perhaps helping control your appetite.
You don't like it when I use the word perhaps too much?
Sunday you said perhaps a lot.
I wanted to use it tonight.
I think people are pretty aware that when they're tired, they crave more things.
When I stay up, I eat snacks.
When you stay up late, you eat snacks. When you're tired, your body's looking for energy. And so it's a lot easier to go for snacks and often unhealthy snacks, sweets and, cookies and chips and those kinds of things that are really going to wreck our metabolism and not contribute to healthy energy that our body can use.
Yeah, and I notice when I don't get as much sleep, excuse me, that in the morning I feel more bloated. I feel heavier. I don't know. I can tell.
Yeah. Well, some of that might be that you're going to bed with food in your stomach too, because you're staying up late and your body's not supposed to be digesting while it's sleeping.
Perhaps. Helps support your immune system. Makes you less likely to get sick when you get better sleep. So I know, like, if I'm only getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep compared to when I'm getting 8 to 9, that I'm not getting as sick.
Right.
When I'm getting the more sleep.
Yep.
And
there's a lot of, this is metabolism, immune system, a lot of it. There's so much hormone balancing and hormone interaction that's connected to your sleep, and that can impact your metabolism. It can impact your immune system, like all of those things. And so when things are thrown out of balance and your body is struggling, of course your immune system is not going to be at peak.
That makes sense to me. Is there a protein that your body produces when you sleep that helps repair cells and fight infection?
Yeah. I'm looking at your notes.
Do you know what it's called?
I
don't know what it's called.
I do.
This is what happens if you don't get enough sleep.
I know it. Words. I'm tired.
But I mean, there's stuff there.
We'll think of it and put it in the show notes. Do we have show notes?
We don't have show notes.
I'll put it in the comments.
there are things we know that happen when you sleep. Things that are produced, but it goes back to what your body. It's like when it's like your computer, right? You shut down your computer at night. I don't know if that's good for your computer or not. I imagine it is. But you can't run your car 24/7. I mean, the race, the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
There's cars breaking down all the time, and I think cars are meant to stop and rest.
Yeah.
Helps their longevity. What?
That's a fair analogy.
That's not a good one.
I don't think the computer is a good one, because
I don't think
the computer does not do any rest. Well,
okay. I don't know what happens to these things. They're machines. It's a terrible analogy.
Our body is working a lot when we're sleeping.
When we're sleeping, it's just important for us to rest. So you asked earlier, what does the Bible have to say about sleeping?
Yeah.
Well, I think one important thing that God put in motion after creation was he took the seventh day and he rested. And he separated the day and the night. And I think there's an important rhythm there that he gave us. And as he created creation and nighttime and daytime, and then he showed us that he rested on the seventh day. And so that's something we need to work into, not just our sleep habits, but also our just rest or self-care habits. But I also think in that creation, when he created us to follow that pattern and to get our sleep when it's time to sleep.
Right.
Because we're not the only mammals. We're not the only, I don't think we evolved from anything, but we're not the only creatures on this planet that need our sleep.
Right. No, he designed our bodies to work optimally with the day and the night cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the rhythms of the earth.
Hours. How many hours?
Uh,
I don't think we've mentioned this yet.
no, and I think, I mean, really, it can vary from person to person. Some people do better on less than more, and or some people do better less than I do.
That's true.
I like my sleep, but generally, if you're getting like 7 to 9 hours of sleep, is a good
It's good.
target. Yeah, men often can function. I wouldn't necessarily say that you're getting optimal health,
Yeah.
but men can function on
Functioning
less
in-
than women.
Yeah.
can.
Functioning and being your best,
Right.
performing your best, they're two different
It's
things.
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often am functioning.
Yeah. But I don't know how.
Yeah. I
If
don't.
I get 7 hours a night for a few nights in a row,
You're
I am
feeling it.
dragging.
You're like, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're
That's
ready to
where
go to
I'm at
bed.
right now. Yeah.
Some tips for good sleep. Stick to a consistent sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Same
Be like
time
a
every
baby.
night.
Have a bedtime routine. Yeah.
You already mentioned avoid screens 30 to 60 minutes before bed.
Mhm.
Limit caffeine and alcohol in the afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
I do know if I'll like, afternoon cup of coffee sounds good, that gets me a little wired.
And then you're up a little bit longer than you
Yeah.
could be. Yeah.
And then if I haven't been consuming alcohol, but when I did, if I drink late, I could tell like it was harder to fall asleep and sleep well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. Like people having wine, say for example, wine to wind down at night. But what that does is it causes your blood sugar to crash while you're sleeping
Yeah.
and it wakes you up. So a lot of people will notice that, and they might not make that connection that their nightly wine is waking them up at, maybe 2, 3 in the morning and having trouble going back to sleep. But it's their blood sugar waking them up because your body's kind of in this depleted crisis. Yeah.
True that. Gotcha. Bedtime environment upgrades.
Dark.
Oh, wait, I forgot one.
What?
Wind down with relaxing activities, like such as instead of watching TV,
Read a book.
read a book,
Play a game.
take a warm bath, play a game,
Drink a cup of tea.
sit outside, those
Mhm.
types of things.
Yeah.
I love reading before I go to bed. I just forget that I love reading before I go to bed.
So you watch TV instead.
So I watch TV instead. Bedroom environment upgrades. Keep your room cool, quiet, and dark.
Yes. Very dark.
This
You can't-
recommends 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. You sleep better when it's cold.
In the winter, you will often crack the window when it's 30 degrees
I do.
outside.
Yeah.
And then it gets cold in our house,
Feels
but I
good.
sleep really good.
I know. There are countries
Yes.
that
Tell me about this.
I don't remember.
Tell our
It's like
listeners.
Scandinavia.
I know.
Yeah. And they will close a bedroom door
Yeah.
as they're getting their kids ready for bed.
Babies.
Yeah, babies and kids. They'll open the windows in the bedroom and then close the bedroom door just to trap all the cold air in there. And then they take their kids, their babies in, and they tuck them into their covers and they sleep in the freezing cold room.
Yeah. And they sleep all night and they sleep really good.
Or they sleep outside in their strollers.
Yeah.
For like nap time and stuff because it's good for you.
That's why I like having our air conditioner on, but I like going to hotel rooms
Like that.
and cranking us down as far as it can.
Yeah.
I prefer natural cold.
Yeah. Air
'Cause I think it's
conditioner
better for
cold
you.
feels too cold to me. Like it makes me during the day, it makes me cold. I don't like
See,
it.
last night it was too hot upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and so I slept on the couch just because it was cooler right by one of the vents for the air conditioner.
Yeah. I slept great because I was all over the bed.
Have a good mattress and pillow. That's something we need to invest in, a better one.
Yes, we do need a new mattress.
That's
a little overwhelming, really. So maybe if somebody's listening and they're like, hey, I have this mattress and it's an amazing brand, let us know. Because we are going to need to get a new mattress once we settle in our new place, wherever that ends up being.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kind of mattress.
And we have to buy an RV mattress as well.
We do. Yeah.
If you live next to a streetlight or in Alaska or someplace where it's brighter outside and your room's not getting dark enough, maybe get blackout curtains.
Mm-hmm.
I know that helps some people.
We have those.
And some people, I can't, I've tried sleeping with earplugs in when I'd go on like a men's retreat and there was a snorer in the room.
Was it you?
Me. And I just can't, it just feels weird having it in my ear.
I don't like it either.
But I like a white noise machine.
Mm.
And I know you don't,
you
so
do.
we don't have one.
Right. We have one in the house, but it's not in our room.
Right. And since you don't like it, then I don't get one.
I'm sorry that you have to sacrifice.
That's how it works.
It's just static. It
Called
just
marriage.
bothers my
Yeah, I know.
brain. It's
I like it. I like we have,
See, you love the bathroom
but we have
fan.
the fan going, the ceiling fan, and
I
that's
don't hear
that's
that.
enough for me.
You hear it? The
Yeah,
ceiling fan?
I know it's part of the environment.
It's just a mental thing.
Yeah,
I don't hear it.
you know, I know I like the bathroom fan.
You love the
I
bathroom
love it.
fans. It drives me crazy.
Some of
'cause
them are
it's
too
just
loud.
so much background noise that I have to turn them off.
Yeah. There are some daytime habits that help us sleep better. We already talked about getting bright light exposure during the day,
Mhm.
and
Getting
that,
outside,
getting that morning,
especially.
it helps with our
Yep.
circadian rhythm.
Yep.
Exercising regularly, but not too close to bedtime, and that's something that affects me sometimes because of life, I often can't go for a run or something until later at night. Probably what I should
You're
do,
wide awake.
flip that and run in the mornings. Uh,
Instead of sleeping in.
well, but I heard one time if you exercise early in the morning, there's some health risk there. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
I
probably
haven't
not
heard
true.
that,
So yeah, I go for a run late at night, and then I'm wired,
but
and then I have trouble going to sleep.
yeah.
And then don't take naps in the afternoon
Yeah.
or limit them.
I think there's a measure there of listening to your body. I mean, if your body needs the rest and you need the nap, you take the nap.
And you need a 10-pounder.
Right.
That's what we call short naps at our house.
Powder. I am not a napper, but I understand that sometimes people need them. But if it's just napping for napping's sake because you're bored or whatever, you're just sitting around.
Yeah.
If it's later in the afternoon, of course, that could impact your nighttime sleep.
I love naps.
I know you do.
Sometimes I just sit down. But my dad he introduced me to the 10-pounder, and he'd say, I'm gonna take a 10-pounder, and he'd go to sleep, and then 10 minutes later he'd wake up and be ready to go.
You didn't learn that piece of it.
No, I just keep going.
You go to sleep and stay asleep.
10-pounder, 30-pounder, 60-pounder. Just keep going.
It's because you don't get a good nighttime sleep.
Yeah, I know. Natural sleep aids that can help you sleep better. You drink tea every night.
I do. Not when it's super hot.
Part of
like
your
right now
routine,
I'm
though,
not, but
and
I
it helps
do
you
love
sleep.
tea.
It helps you
Me
unwind.
kind of calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
While you're
do.
reading
I
a
love
book.
like a ginger turmeric tea.
Are there any chamomile? I like chamomile.
Yeah.
Are there any essential oils that help you calm down?
Lavender.
Yeah, lavender's
is a
good for that,
one.
right?
Yep, that's a good one. Another thing that people can use is melatonin. But
I don't know anything about melatonin.
yeah, your body makes it, and it's like your calming hormone. But I would prefer that you or people,
talking to
our
me?
listeners
Oh, yeah.
would work on that wake sleep cycle and work on some of the things that you can do to reset that naturally so that
Or taking something.
yes, so that your body, because when you're exposed to too much light at night, your body is going to produce more cortisol, which is like your waking hormone. It's what we're supposed to have high. It's a stress hormone.
But the screens give you that.
Yes, because it's blue light. So that's what we want in the morning is our cortisol to be high. And that also helps to trigger your melatonin to be high in the evening. Cortisol should come down, melatonin should come up. So yes, you can take melatonin and it's not like an addictive thing. It's not like a sleeping pill. And it can be beneficial if someone's really struggling, but there are a lot of, like some of those other things that we talked about that you can do to help your body reset so that you can naturally make it.
I'll have to ask Tucker Carlson if nicotine helps you sleep better.
I don't know that it does. That's a whole different podcast that you can do on your own.
People are like, what is he talking about?
Don't even just edit that piece out.
Sleep is a nightly therapy session for your brain. And if you skip it, it can throw your emotional balance off.
It's true.
So sleep supports mental health.
It's also how our body or how our brain packages up and organizes the events of the day.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like things that happen in your day, things that we need to commit to our memory, things that are being stored, that happens at night. Like your brain sorts through the day and kind of almost compartmentalizes and commits things to memory. If we're not, I mean, yes, you can remember stuff during the day, like you can memorize things during the day. That's what I'm saying. But
with those
but
things.
good sleep helps your brain to sort of compartmentalize things, put them away, move on, be ready for new.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's just part of that repair and restore.
Yeah, I think I think if people listening don't take anything else away, they just need to know that sleep repairs and restores us.
Yeah.
It helps in that process. Uh, Good sleep regulates us, helps to regulate us emotionally, stabilizes our mood, um, reduces emotional reactivity. Sorry, I wasn't talking into my microphone well enough. Helps us respond calmly to stress when it comes our way, and also improves resilience, making it easier for us to bounce back when we have setbacks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think for me, as someone who has probably battled a lot of like self-made anxiety and maybe depression and funkiness, I can look back and say like most of that has gotten worse because I don't sleep well.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a domino effect or a snowball effect that just gets worse.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Uh, Helps us again leading into that with anxiety and depression relief. Lack of sleep is linked to a higher risk of depression and anxiety, so more sleep on the counter of that can help reduce those things.
Yeah.
Good sleep helps us process emotions, and yeah, cognitive clarity, enhances focus, memory, which you already talked about, and our decision making process, reduces brain fog,
Yep.
which people get. And we already talked about the next one. What?
People get it.
People get that brain fog and they don't want it anymore. Uh, Poor sleep can trigger or worsen mental health.
Yeah, I feel like you have that in your notes a lot.
I
It
know
must
it's
be
in my note a
important.
lot, so I'm going to stop. But I think when it comes to mental health, like I've never heard anyone, hey, you should probably get more sleep.
Yeah.
Like that's just not something that's shared a lot.
Yeah.
So I think getting more sleep is important. Uh, Better on a social behavioral benefit, so better sleep improves social interactions and reduces irritability. Is that true, Heidi? If I get more sleep, am I less irritable and am I more pleasant to be around?
If I get less sleep, am I more irritable?
Yes.
Yeah. Same
And then,
answer.
so yeah, it helps you read social cues and maintain healthy relationships.
Yeah. I think something else that I will add in too is just because one of our boys just walked in and it made me think athletes, how important sleep is for those who are exercising, not just like serious athletes, but if you're exercising, that's like your body cannot recover fully if you're not getting good sleep. If you're exercising hard, you're breaking down your body and you're not giving it time to restore and repair. Um, and that can lead to injury if you are not giving your body the rest that it needs. It's something that I know our boys have taken pretty seriously, and they
Yeah.
notice a big difference when they have nights where they don't sleep. Their mental ability at practice is not as on point. They feel sluggish. There are things that aren't going as smoothly in their body can lead to injury or a terrible practice
Yeah.
or whatever. Like it just really impacts how you exercise and how you recover.
Yeah. And I know, like, I don't understand like NBA players, how they can, fly late nights and get up and try to, like, some of those athletes that are in the like baseball and football, or not baseball and basketball, especially where there's so many games. Hockey would be another one. There's so many games,
Mm-hmm.
and you're flying in and out of cities and getting in late at night, and then you have to sleeping in weird places and trying to get up and get going. And I mean, I think that's a real issue for a lot of those athletes, is making sure they can get the
Yeah.
sleep they need so that they can perform to their best.
Yeah.
And I think for younger athletes, like the more you parents can get their younger athletes in the habit of getting good sleep, especially like if they're doing, a couple day tournament or something like that, and just
Makes a huge difference.
getting rid of those barriers that are preventing them from getting good sleep and make sure they're getting good sleep. And that sets them up for future success, I believe, as an athlete
Yeah.
and as a person down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like, I know like for my work, my crews that go out and work in the fields, like when they're busy, I mean, it's work, go home, eat dinner, go to bed, get up early, work again. I mean, that's all day long, but there's no way they could do it if they weren't getting good sleep, and they prioritize that.
Yeah.
So, anything else about sleep that we haven't covered that you think is important besides the fact that sleep is important? And now we're going to get done so that you can go to bed.
To walk the dog first.
I'll do that.
I like walking.
I know.
No,
so
I think I'm good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably rambling.
You're not rambling.
And I am not an expert. I should put that disclaimer in there.
Well, we aren't really an expert on anything.
No, we're experts at being
real people.
Non-experts.
Yeah. Now we're rambling.
Yeah. Let's end it.
Let's be done. So appreciate you guys listening, and you can subscribe wherever you listen and follow us that way so that you get updated when we have a new one coming out. I will say this going forward, our next month is going to be pretty crazy. So we're going to try to hit every Thursday and have something come out, even if it's short, even if it's just us saying hi and checking in. But
because we made that commitment,
for
ourselves.
Yeah, it's a challenge. And we're going to we'll probably have to double up on a Sunday and get a couple of them out there and just save them. But I said it wrong last week. And so we encourage people to seek God, to serve your family, and to strengthen your body. Last week I said strengthen your health.
Oh, that still works.
One of the ways you can strengthen your body is by getting good sleep every night.
Yep. Good night.
Good night. Have a great week.